Good day, everyone. This is Pine Leaf Needles, and welcome to DDO Players, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from the Mists of Ravenloft, Draculetta.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there. How do you like that your world has invaded DDO finally?
It's exciting. I'm excited to see all the people, and it sounds like people are loving it. So it's great.
All right.
Good times.
They're loving getting trapped into Barovia and getting killed, huh?
Yeah.
Then let us begin with the release notes for the Mists of Ravenloft. And anything here that we haven't anticipated already?
Not really. We've pretty much gone over these, so we'll just kind of gloss over them. You can follow the links in the show notes to read the full release notes. But yes, Ravenloft is here. That does include the Land of Barovia Wilderness area. There are 12 quests, 2 raids. One is currently available, which is the Strahd raid. And then the second raid, which will be the Babala Saga raid, that will be coming soon. We don't know when soon is, but soon is all we know. So one raid right now, other one coming. And, of course, we have the new public areas, and there is a new saga as well. So if you're into running those sagas for experience and goodies, you can now run the Ravenloft saga. Then, of course, we have the sentient weapons. And that is only for the higher levels. That is end game. So, unfortunately, if you're under level, you can play with the sentient weapons. But from what I have seen and what I have heard, they are pretty cool. I can't.
Now, I have a question concerning this raid. Are you saying that in order to have a chance to slay Strahd, you have to go into a raid?
Yes.
Now, how are we going to arrange that?
Gonna have to run the raid, apparently. Yes, you run the other quests to get flagged for the raid, and then you have to go. But then the problem with that is, therein lies the problem too. That raid is only epic. There is no heroic version of it.
There is no heroic version of. You mean you have to get to level 30 to?
Yep. No Strahd for you.
No Strahd. That means we're going to have to go back to our level 20s and start to get them up to 30 then.
After we run all the quests in Ravenloft, and then we have to do it all again because we're going to have to get flagged on those. So, yeah. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm not sure why they went that route. I don't know why they didn't do a heroic version since they made everything else heroic as well. I get the sentient weapon thing I can understand because that is, the quote-unquote end game right now. So right. That's fine. But the raid, I don't understand why they didn't do the heroic version of the raid, but what are you going to do? And then, of course, there is some new favor to be had. That is for the Keepers of the Feather.
Of the Feather?
Keepers of the Feather. I won't spoil it because you haven't done that much Ravenloft yet, but you'll understand that once you get into Ravenloft. I'll keep it spoiler-free for you. Right. And, of course, we have new items and the sentient weapons that we talked about, and all of that fun stuff. So, as I said, you can pop over and actually read the complete release notes in the show notes. We've kind of talked about them already because we talked about it when it was on Lomania, and not much have changed. But that's just a quick gloss over of the Update 37 Mist of Ravenloft release notes.
Then let's head off into, of course, the first of the inevitable hotfixes, and this one was on a Saturday because they wanted it to get out quickly.
They did. There was some stuff that needed fixed, so they decided to do it on a Saturday. And they corrected, an issue where the examination window would sometimes get wider over time.
What?
I never had that problem, but I guess some people, that was an issue. It started out like the normal size, and then the longer you had it open, it would just kind of grow and grow and grow and grow. Kind of a weird error, but that should now be fixed. They also fixed an issue where the keystone would not consistently spawn in the Invitation to a Dinner quest, which I had that bug, so I'm glad they got that fixed. Okay. They also corrected an issue with the mist wall in Raven's Bane that could prevent players from progressing past Baleful. That's another quest that is now fixed. They lowered the number of wolves that will spawn in the Fresh Baked Dreams quest. They corrected some typos in Fresh Baked Dreams.
Oh, you mean those typos weren't part of the quest?
No, they were not. They also removed an energy drain spell attack in Fresh Baked Dreams and in the Mad Tea Party quest. You are no longer allowed to cast Dimension Door in the Mad Tea Party quest. That is due to it breaking the quest. And I guess people were breaking the quest left and right. So no Dimension Door for you. You will no longer have the quest sealed in amber. In the quest sealed in amber, you will no longer sometimes get PvP flagged, and you can start killing your party. Not working as intended. So no bad people for killing the rest of your party because for some reason a PvP flag was turned on, and yeah. Fun times were happening there. So yeah, that's now fixed. So you can no longer slay your own party now.
Okay.
They fixed an issue where the wrong level weapon would be bestowed to a player as part of the weapon giver encounter in the Barobian Wilderness area.
Oh, yeah, we remember that little one.
Yes.
Look at this. Look, what is this? Level 29, level 20.
Exactly. Look at this great level 29 weapon I'm being offered on my level 10.
Yes.
Yeah, so that, we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the end chest in the Amber Temple now spawns whether you draw Strahd's attention or not. However, drawing his attention will earn you an extra chest.
Ooh.
And that is our hotfix number 1 note.
Hotfix number 1. Ooh, that sort of gives the implication that there is going to at some point be a hotfix number 2.
How about tomorrow? We have downtime from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, and that is for hotfix number 2.
Okay.
They are going to fix a few things in there. The Disciples of Dawn now has its proper well-rounded profane bonus. If this item is in a player's shared bank, it will need to be dragged into the inventory in order for the problem to be corrected. The legendary Memory of the Fine Regalia is now versioned to its updated state. And once again, if that item isn't a player shared bank, you're going to need to drag it into your inventory for the correct fix to be applied. They corrected a visual issue with the ASMR robes. Kobolds previously had 2 dances, but they were not hooked up correctly until now. So apparently pay attention to those kobolds before you kill them. They might be doing a new dance for you. They also fixed an issue where vampire spawn rares and Duro did not take damage from positive energy. And the hireling vendor in the Blue Water Inn in Ravenloft will now give the appropriate hireling levels.
Oh, that sounds good.
So the problem with that was if you went in on level 10, you were being offered higher level hirelings that you could not use.
The Blue Water Inn, is that the inn we were in before, or is that a different inn?
It's a different one.
Okay.
We haven't got there yet.
Okay.
And then this is kind of a weird one. Hair and beards for NPCs in Ravenloft have now been adjusted.
Okay.
I didn't pay attention to anybody's hair or their beards, but apparently there were some issues, but they have been fixed, so I guess I'll have to look at after the hotfix and see what the beards look like. And then, as I said previously, you remember that NPC I was talking about that give you the heroic Barobian weapons?
Yes.
It has been reset. So no matter if you talk to him or not, you need to talk to him again because he is going to offer you another weapon even if you already previously got a ML29 weapon or if you actually got an ML10 and it worked right, because sometimes it was working right, sometimes it wasn't. They just reset the guy. He's forgotten that he's talked to any of us. We're going to have to go back and talk to him, and we're going to get to choose weapons again. So
okay.
If you were lucky enough to get a ML10 weapon, you're going to get another one. And of course, this will be after the hotfix on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this when the podcast is out on Wednesday, you need to go talk to him and get your other weapon. And they did fix an issue where players were unable to swap spells while resting at the Ravenloft Rush Shrines.
That'd be a problem.
That would be a problem. I didn't attempt to do that myself, but apparently it was broken. They also fixed an issue that could cause Ravensbane not to be able to complete it. That's now fixed. They did some more spelling, grammar, and text issue in the midst of Ravenloft. They corrected an issue where Velaskia's death animation was not playing correctly in the Sunrise quest. Corrected an issue where Velaskia would not always appear in the correct spot. Esmeralda can no longer be killed in the Abbey. She will instead become an NPC if her health drops to 10%. And Fresh Break Dreams now has a proper altar on the hill.
Oh, yeah. It didn't look very impressive before.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of. It was kind of a lame altar, actually. So I'll be excited to see what that looks like now. And then they fixed an issue where the first scarecrow into the Mist quest would sometimes just run away. Also, a slight issue was corrected where some buildings were sometimes flashing. And finally, an issue with the Gates of Barovia that would sometimes cause a client to crash has been resolved. And then engineering has done some work on spellcasting, and they're saying that should help alleviate the hitching that has been seen in recent weeks. And I say hallelujah, praise the Lord if they actually get that fixed, because it's getting very, very annoying. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that, so be interested to see if it's actually spellcasting. They're pretty sure that's what's causing the problem. So hopefully that fix will work. And finally, the last thing that are going to be fixed tomorrow is scarecrows will no longer be healed by electricity.
What?
Not even sure how that works, but apparently they like electricity. I don't know.
Let's head into DDO Chronicle issue 262, and I hear rumors that the people over at Castle Ravenloft just think of people as cattle.
Yes, that's Strahd. Strahd does refer to people as cattle several times.
Oh, fun. And speaking of cattle, it looks like there is a member of that species on the front.
There is, yes. The cover is a Bastani wagon and a cow. So kind of a weird choice for a cover, but okay. In the Chronicle this week, don't forget the Veteran Status 3 event has arrived. This will allow you to create a level 10 brand new character. You can do this up through December 17th. So if you want to make some level 10 characters, now is the time to do it. And Quarterman did say on his weekly Wednesday live stream that they would like to make this an event that they do bring back from time to time. So still kind of weird. I don't understand why they're doing it this way. But, you know, whatevs. I guess that's what they want to do. So it's a limited time thing. It will be back at some point, though. He didn't make any promises on when. But I would just say if you want to make some new level 10s, do it now while you can. If not, you're going to have to wait. And Festivalt, it is on its way. Festivalt coins are currently appearing in chest throughout Eberron only. Once again, Eberron only. I know some people on the forums were confused about that. It's lore, people. It's a lore reason they don't drop in Evening Star or in Ravenloft. It's only in Eberron. People were confused. And the Jester is going to arrive December the 14th. So this week, the Jester will arrive, so you can start turning your coins in for Festivalt cookies. Elsewhere in the Chronicle, we do have our Community Spotlight. The DDO Puzzle Solver for Android and Windows, that brand new app, has been updated with the Temple of the Deathworm Mirrors and the Let Sleeping Dust Lie Rune Wheel Solvers are now updated in the Puzzle Solver. Don't forget, you still have some time to submit your Ravenloft fan trailer for that fan run contest. Click over and get all the info on that. Time is running out. We do have a brand new streamer on the DDO stream team, and that is McVegan Pants. She is the newest streamer. She is a Lotro streamer.
Yeah, because that's a...
But she is now starting to stream DDO as well.
Okay.
So some people, if, that's what's kind of cool about between Lotro players and DDO players. We kind of have a crossover audience because most people that play DDO have either played Lotro or is playing Lotro. So we can have that crossover. So it's kind of cool to see that crossover happening over on the stream team as well. And then finally in the community section, Massively OP writes about the launch of Ravenloft. And then in the fan site news section, DDO Cast gets a visit from the Damsels as the Damsels of DDO took over DDO Cast for a special half-hour news hour. So click over and either watch that or listen to that. That was an excellent, amazing episode.
Oh, did Madam Ava visit them?
They did not, but Mora was there.
Ooh.
I talked to Mora, actually. I was in Ravenloft, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, Mora walks up to me, and I'm like, Mora, why are you here? And she's like, why are you here? So listen to that episode and find out what happened. And then Sip is writing about questing and looting over on his Biobake blog, so check that out. The House of Grouse ponders his ASMR. Click over and check that out. And DDOPL is firing a lot of bolts. Man, I cannot talk tonight. DDOPL is firing a lot of bolts in their latest episode. And, of course, that is the Polish-speaking DDO. So they are really fun to watch. I can't understand a word they're saying, but they're very enjoyable to watch. And then finally, Bard's Life is getting sternitis. So click over and check out what sternitis is. And that's it for the fan site news. But, of course, we have our Chronicle comment this week. And the question this week is, what does the bottle of mist taste like?
I thought that was a mystery.
Ooh, nice answer, finally. My answer is the obvious one. It tastes like blood and tears. Nothing? I'm not going to get any comment from you on that? Really? Nothing?
Oh. I think it is time to head to the sales for this week.
Okay, then. We'll go straight into the sales. We have 30% off our select classes, Supreme Ability Tomes, Ability Potions, Alignment Changes, and PRR/MRR Potions, all at 30% off. Do not forget, the December deals is continuing with week number 2, 75% off Sovereign Guild Renowned Elixirs, 50% off Gold Seal, Healing Potions, and Temple of Elemental Evil Adventure Pack, and 35% off Mirrors of Glamoring. That is through December the 14th. Then, of course, we do have our free sample of the week through December the 14th as well. That is a Gold Seal Elixir of Lesser Healing. You will get 10 of those Gold Seal Elixirs when you use a coupon code HEALMENOW, HEALMENOW, Heal Me Now.
Then let's go and see what's coming in from the dungeon. And D&D Xanthar's Guide to Everything is doing something about records. What they're going into record studios and breaking them?
They're breaking lots of records. I don't know if they're breaking LP records, but very well could be. This book has just gone gangbusters. It is currently number 1 as of last week on the Wall Street Journal nonfiction list. It's number 1 hardcover nonfiction over at Publishers Weekly. It is number 12 on the top 150 best-selling books for USA Today, and it is the number 12 nonfiction book over on Amazon. But that is not all. Wizards of the Coast shared something with me that I was a little stunned about. This book came out November 21st.
Right.
WotC said that is making this book the fastest-selling book in the 43-year history of Dungeons and Dragons. So let's just take a moment to appreciate that. Xanthar's Guide to Everything is the fastest-selling book in D&D history. and it is still selling. It is going like crazy. People are loving the book, which I can see why if you read a review. It is an amazing book. It is, as I called it in the review, one of the first, in my opinion, must-have 5e books. So lots of good new character options and other things in there. So if you don't have it yet, check it out. But congratulations to WotC on the amazing success they're having with Xanthar's Guide to Everything.
Then let's head on and see what we have on the tabletop. And why would you want to kill the unicorns?
Because they're evil, Pinely. They're evil, nasty.
What?
Yes. Kill the Unicorns is a new game that is over on Kickstarter. And it is just what it sounds like. In the game, you are trying to kill unicorns. There is a annual 4-day unicorn hunt that takes place. And the game combines blind bidding and set collection mechanics with a healthy dose of take that gameplay. In each round, players first will pick a secret scheme on the unicorns in play, which influences which of the players at the table can capture that unicorn. Then they will place hidden bids on the unicorns, the ones that they hope to catch. The highest bidder, after the effects of the schemes go into consideration, will claim the unicorn and claim its points. Then the unused cards can be spent on at the Gnome Run Black Market to gain advantages. The game comes with 145 cards, 20 tokens. It's intended for 3 to 6 players. Plays in under about 45 minutes. Does have an MSRP of $20. Kickstarter is up and running now as of this recording. You have 9 days to go, and they have shattered their goal already, so they're working on the wonderful stretch goals and all that. But you can get in on it for $20, which is the MSRP, as I said. So yes, kill the unicorns. Brand new tabletop game over on Kickstarter. Watch the video. The video on the Kickstarter that I linked in the article for this over at DDO Players. It's hilarious.
I suppose so. Now, we'll then head into Edgar Allan Poe's Mask of the Red Death, coming from IDW. So, therefore, something that starts out on the grim side, then?
Yes, and this is a new social deduction game that will be coming to Kickstarter on January the 10th. Everybody's going to Kickstarter. And this, of course, sounds just like what you think it is. It is based on Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Mask of the Red Death. It's going to pit 4 to 7 players against each other as you hobnob with the prince, but disaster strikes at midnight. Players have to balance their actions carefully between currying the prince's favor and discovering what rooms the Red Death will visit. After all, the highest social standing is the only one that matters, and you will survive if you can determine the correct rooms. And that is The Mask of the Red Death, coming from IDW Games. That is really hard to say for some reason. On January 10th, a Kickstarter is going to run. Game is for 2 to 7 players, 12 and up, about 30 to 45 minutes. The game is planned as a Kickstarter, as I said. Everybody's going to Kickstarter, Piney. Kickstarter is the way to get a game made these days.
Apparently so. And concerning that, I noticed that it says artwork by Gris Grimley. I'm wondering, is that a brush name or is that his real name?
Yeah, that's the artist name. I'm trying to think of what else he has done. He has done something else because as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I know that guy's name, but I can't think of why I know him. But he does some pretty amazing, like, dark gothic type art.
I guess the name demanded it.
Yeah, with a name like Gris Grimley, you pretty much can't paint happy flowers and trees. You know? I mean, I guess you could, but it would be kind of ironic.
All right. So, sort of the modern day Charles Adams or something.
Could be, yeah.
Then let's see what's coming in on the screen. And there's a trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That's right, the latest movie in the Jurassic Park series of movies. And this one has a volcano versus the dinosaur. So sign me up right there. That's all I need to know. Dinosaurs and volcanoes, finally. It's a disaster movie with dinosaurs. I'm there. I'm in. Let's do this.
So the question is, which is the disaster, the dinosaurs or the volcano?
Very well. If you watch the trailer, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, it's cool to actually see a trailer for this. We've been getting like little teaser posters and a couple little teasers of it, but this is the first official full-length trailer, and it looks amazing. And this is set to hit theaters June 22nd of next year. So we have a long time to wait, but dinosaurs and volcanoes, what can go wrong?
What can go wrong? Well, I'm sure a lot can go wrong for the dinosaurs, especially if you add things like asteroids into the mix.
That'll probably be the next. We have a volcano now, then the next movie will be an asteroid.
Ooh, this next one really has...
I'm calling it now.
What? Even on the Lord of the Rings living card game heading to Steam?
Yes, this came out of nowhere this weekend. I got the email from Fantasy Flight, and I'm like, what? You're doing what now? How did you keep this a secret? But yeah, if you're familiar with the living card game, which I know you are because you have talked about it on the show before, you have played it.
Right.
You will now get the chance to play that over on Steam, as the newly formed Fantasy Flight Interactive has announced their very first product is going to be the Lord of the Rings living card game. This is the digital adaptation. It's going to use the same mechanics, somewhat, and cards from the tabletop version. Yeah, they are changing a little bit of it. Players in the digital game will still control 3 heroes with 30 card decks based on the four influence spheres of leadership, tactics, spirit, and lore. But the game is going to remove some of the maintenance work that players had to manage in the tabletop version. In this new iteration of the game, players are going to focus on planning and adventuring phases, while the AI is going to handle playing the cards for Sauron's decks and all of the responsibilities of enemies that will engage the heroes.
Well, that makes sense, because why have a computer version of the LCG if the Sauron deck wasn't being handled by the computer?
Exactly. And that's of course, like you said, the whole reason of going digital. So that's pretty exciting news. You can go ahead and put it on your wish list now over on Steam, which I've linked in the article I put up on DDO Players. It is going to release in early access in January. They did not give a specific date. And then you were going to have the chance to purchase what they're calling Founders Packs. And in these Founder Packs, you're going to access the full game experience, and they're also going to include content such as in-game currency and more, which that part kind of scares me.
Yeah, that last bit does scare me a little bit.
I'm not exactly sure what you're going to need the in-game currency for.
Oh, you need it to buy various decks?
I would say probably to unlock more decks and cards, you're probably going to have to pay it with in-game currency.
Well, okay, I guess that makes sense, seeing how in the real game you have to use real-world currency.
So, like I said, you can go in the article I put up on DDO Players and click over and add it to your wish list. On Steam, the early access version coming January 2018 is all they said. So once I find out a specific date, I will, of course, report on it.
Very well. Then let's head into our week in gaming. InRegulate, what have you been up to?
Ravenloft. So much Ravenloft.
I am shocked.
I gotta say, I know everybody is shocked, and they're like, "What? You played Ravenloft?" Oh yeah, I'm loving Ravenloft so far. But my Warlock, level 13 Warlock, is running the Ravenloft, running it on hard on that character. So of course I did Into the Mist, and then I did Death House, Fresh Baked Dreams, and an Invitation to Dinner. That's where I ran into the bug. I had to rerun the quest because I'm going to keep it spoiler-free since you haven't ran that yet. Something is supposed to show up somewhere, and that something never showed up for me, which that, as I did talk about, is supposed to be fixed now. So, and when I reran it, it actually was different that time because that quest can be different. Once again, I'm going to keep it spoiler-free since you haven't done it. So, yeah. So, but I finally got it done. I just had to run it twice. Then have a level 10 Druid, so I'm running that through Ravenloft as well. Did all of the same quest on hard as well. And then I created a level 10 ASMR Ranger that is going to be for a new static group that I'm going to be in starting after the first of the year. So stay tuned for more news on that. And then I also created another level 10 Ranger. And this one, I am going to do my first ever YouTube series. Ooh. I decided now is the time to jump in. So we'll see how it goes and how far I get in it. But I'm going to do a Drac in Ravenloft, I think is what I'm going to call it. That's a pretty catchy title, isn't it?
So yeah, strange because I was thinking of doing a YouTube series called Pineleaf in Ravenloft. So.
Where you? Well, there you go. Great minds.
No, it might have been it might be Pineleaf in Barovia. I have to remember what I'm calling it. Unfortunately, because I'll get to that later. Why it hasn't started yet.
So yeah, so look for that soon. That'll be over on my YouTube channel. I will put a link in the show notes for that if you want to subscribe. I don't know why you would want to, but hey. And like I said, I'm kind of hesitant about doing this because I don't stream the game much. I mean, I have on occasion, and that's because I play how I like to play, and I play for fun, and I can just wait to see the comments I get on, dude, you suck. You don't know how to play this game. You're doing it all wrong. So yeah, that's why
I don't get too many of those, and I would suspect that if someone said that to me, they'd be telling it perfectly truthfully. So.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I do suck, but I play for fun, and I play the way I want to play. So I guess we'll see. Like I said, I'm like going back and forth on doing this, but I decided, what the heck, I'm just going to do it. So right. Then I have a level 13 Ranger that I had for another static group, and we were going to start running Ravenloft together, and then we found out, hey, the level 10 thing doesn't start until the day after we play together. So we took those level 13s. I'll let you talk about that. And then over on Argo, I created a level 10 Ranger. And the reason why I did that was because I played with the Damsels on Friday night when they did their Damsels episode this week. And we did
a lot of level 10 Rangers.
I am. So many Rangers all the time.
Yeah. And it looks like you haven't created the one that you're going to do with me yet.
Oh, that's right. I have not. Oh, I'll have to do that. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Okay, let me make myself a note.
Ranger number 4.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, all Rangers all the time. So yeah, so I was on the Damsels. You can see that. I don't know if it's uploaded to the DDO YouTube yet. If not, you can see the archive on Twitch. But that was a lot of fun. I always love running with the Damsels. And then I was also on their podcast on Saturday as well. We'll talk about that next week when it hopefully is released. And then only other thing game-wise I did, I played a little game called Neverwinter Nights, the Enhanced Edition.
The Enhanced Edition?
Ooh, we talked about that last week. It was coming out, and Beamdog sent me an email, and they're like, hey, do you want to get a sneak peek at Neverwinter Nights? And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to get a sneak peek at Neverwinter Nights.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to ask that twice. Let's see.
Exactly. You don't have to ask me twice about that. So, yeah. So I'm still waiting to hear back on exactly what I can say because I don't know what kind of embargo they have on the coverage of it. So not going to say too much, but it's pretty amazing. And it's just as fun as I remembered it being. So hopefully soon I'll get some video and stuff of that too, and then look for a review after it's fully released and stuff. And hopefully I can talk a little bit more about it next week after they get back with me because I'm not sure on the coverage embargo they have in place. So, but yeah, so that was really all I did in gaming. How about you? What were you up to, Piley?
We will begin with what I did with you, and that is that because we didn't have the ability to create our level 10s yet, we decided to go, as he said, he went with the level 13. I went with my level 14 monk/warlock. Went to the Miss Ravenloft and ran into the Miss, a Death House, and Fresh Baked Dreams. And this was both of our first time doing the Miss of Ravenloft's quest, though Drac, of course, had DM'd some of these quests in the book form.
Yes. And side note, since you brought that up, they did an amazing job of bringing Death House into the video game realm. Because if you did not know, the Death House quest is based off of the intro quest that you can run your parties through in the Curse of Strahd pen and paper book. That is the intro quest to get your party from level 1 to 3. And it's pretty much just like it is in DDO. They did change one slight thing, but they kind of had to change that because I don't think they want you to kill your party members. So
no, probably not.
So yeah, but other than that, I think they did an amazing job of doing that. And then Fresh Baked Dreams is also from the Curse of Strahd book as well, if you did not know. And again, they did another amazing job at that too. So
that worked out pretty well. And then I decided to create a halfling paladin at level 10 and try that in the Miss of Ravenloft. I figured I was a paladin. I didn't need a cleric to go through on the intro quest. And I must say that when I was going on with you, I didn't know just how hard those mobs were hitting. Because they hit hard.
They do hit kind of hard. I will agree with you there.
And just so over time, even though I did use that rest shrine at one point after fighting the wisps and got all healed up, and I don't think I even fought any of the wolves because I think I decided to skip that optional, but those strawmen just ripped me to pieces.
Yeah, especially, are you talking about the single one or the wave that comes in after this single one?
I think the single one did a little damage, but then I did the wave, and then the wave would go plink, plink, plunk, 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 and then comes the boss, plunk, pop!
Yeah, that wave can be nasty because there is a lot of them, and they come in fast, and they hit pretty hard, and then if you get 2 or 3 of them on you, they really hit you hard, so yeah. And that's a little tough. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, yes, I got killed on that. So I'll have to try it again, this time with the hireling. Since you do get the hireling that you get when you create the character, do the level 10 thing. Mm-hmm. You get one free cleric on that.
You do.
And that's it because, of course, I rolled the dice and I didn't get any money out of the daily dice, so...
You know, you never get it when you need it.
You never get it. You get lots of money rolls when you've got plenty of money already. But yes, when you have a new character that says, oh, this is a new character with no money, avoid the money rolls.
Exactly.
Then in Minecraft, I finally decided it was time to build the Earth Temple in my Temple of the Elemental Pine. So therefore, I've got pretty much most of the first level done to some extent. I think the cell area is the only major part that isn't at least excavated out. And there are a couple other parts in the western part that have been excavated but aren't quite finished out yet. But I did the Temple of Earth And I decided to follow 3 points in it when I was doing the Temple of Earth. I said, okay, earth, ground. Okay, fine, I'll do that. I decided to use dirt Minecraft, of course. So I used dirt for the floor for that. And I said, there's a pyramid in the middle built of dirt with stone steps along it. Okay, I can do that. No problem there. Sandstone walls all the way around. I used up every block of sandstone that I have accumulated in the 6 months I've been in this world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, every single block of sandstone was used up in doing that. So
yes.
it's
like, is sandstone like hard to get, or do you just have to like go out and mine it and find it or whatever? Is it like fairly hard to get, or?
It probably depends on where you're at and how hard it's to get, because I'll call it uncommon but not rare. I think
okay.
Probably the best way of putting it, because so what to say about sandstone is that you can find it in deserts. So therefore, if you do a lot of mining in a desert, then you'll probably get a lot of sand, and to get a lot of sandstone, you can use sand to also create more sandstone if you want. In my area, I've got a few places where I could get it, because my base entrance is right off of a lake, which has a little bit of a beach on it. So therefore, I did get some sandstone there. But I think most of mine was when I went to a community desert and just got as much sand as I could, and also got tons of sandstone while I was at it.
Oh, okay.
Well, and if I ever need anything with sandstone again, I'll have to go back there. It's a good thing I didn't do too many things with sandstone, and I don't think I would have even thought of using sandstone for the walls until I reread the original module and said, oh, that Temple of Earth had sandstone walls. So therefore, I got all that done, and now some of the things that I've done for this, because I'm calling it the Temple of Elemental Pine instead of Temple of Elemental Evil.
Right.
I've sort of perverted what the original intent was. And therefore, the Temple of Earth, for example, was supposed to have these 4 earth elementals.
Right.
Right. They're going all around there. And I was thinking of using iron golems for that. But after I built the thing and looked at it, I was thinking, my way of perverting these things was to turn the entire Earth Temple. Okay, what do you do at the temples?
Usually you are worshipping a god of some
right.
type.
Okay, yeah, okay, worship a god, and one of the things that you do is sometimes sacrifices, right?
True, okay, yeah.
All right, now, we're assuming that we're not Temple of Elemental Evil, we'll probably do human sacrifices for it, perhaps. But I think, what would a non-evil group sacrifice instead?
Probably some type of animal, maybe?
Okay, so cattle. So therefore,
yeah.
I turned the thing into cattle pastures so that they could sacrifice the cattle to...
Okay, there you go. There you go. That works.
So therefore, I made that my new... So I moved some of the cattle I had over into there, and now that's my new cattle area. So I thought that was a little twist on it in order to turn it to give it some use and at the same time represent the Temple of Earth. Now, if I could just think of something like that for the Temple of Air when I get to it.
Good luck.
And I'm hoping to finish the first level by the end of the year, and that way at New Year's then I can start on the second level and see what I can do with that, because then you got the 3 temples to do, because you got the air, fire, and water to do on the second level.
So you have a lot of work ahead of you, is what you're saying.
A lot of work. But I managed to do a lot this weekend, which is probably why I didn't get much DDO time done. Which is probably just as well, seeing how they're still tweaking the quests a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. Yep. Hotfixes everywhere.
Hotfixes everywhere. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We actually have featured comments this week.
We do!
Ooh, and what does Mock Taskmaster say?
He says, so last week they released the digital Overlord version of Imperial Assault.
They did?
Yes, they did. I guess I forgot to put a post up on that. Spoiler alert, the app for Star Wars Imperial Assault Legends of the Alliance is now out, and that, of course, allows you to play that single player or co-op. You use the app through Steam, Google Play Store, Amazon Digital, and
Same
the
way as Descent
Apple App
works?
Store. What's that?
Same way as it works for Descent?
Yes. And then Mock says he started using that, and it's wonderful. Fantasy Flight is on a roll here. So reading this, and of course this was about the Lord of the Rings card game coming to Steam. He says, reading this and watching the video, it looks like it's also coming to iOS and Android as well. I would love to think that they will offer cross-buy, so I don't have to buy it on 2 platforms. My answer to that is it's Fantasy Flight. What do you think is going to happen? Just saying. I've never played the Lord of the Rings LCG, but I've heard nothing but good things with a lot of extra content. I imagine their other projects and LCGs will follow this digital path as well. The Star Wars LCG, Android Netrunner, and Game of Thrones LCG, just to name 3 more card games they could do. Asmodee has a lot of stuff to draw from, and I agree.
All right. Then let's look at our emails, which there aren't any, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, The Players Alliance, @PlayersAlly, DDO Players, @DDO Players, Dracula, @Dracula_72, and Piney Needles. The Player Alliance has 2 live shows there every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotra Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Piney Needles reminding you to quest responsibly and watch out for those vampires.